Let's introduce our two national referees in charge for match number 17. Our first referee is Mr. Jofer Educado. And our second referee is Mr. Fernando Velarde. Introducing the starters for your Cignal HD Spikers. Beginning with their team captain, middle blocker number 8, JP Bugawan. Opposite spiker number 9, Mads Gampong. Outside hitter number 11, Joe Umandal. Outside hitter number 16, Brian Bagunas. Setter number 19, Sian Silang. Middle blocker number 20, Lloyd Josafat. And the starting libero is number 7, Vince Lorenzo. The head coach of the HD Spikers is Mr. Dexter Clamore. Presenting the starting lineup for the Maverick Hard Hitters. Starting with their team captain, opposite spiker number 11, Razel Palisok. Outside hitter number 1, Jerome Cordes. Middle blocker number 4, John Rabino. Setter number 12, Wilbert Cebrero. Outside hitter number 13, Kim Tan. Middle blocker number 16, Jethro Cabillan. And their starting libero is number 8, Rekrek Alfaro. The head coach of the Hard Hitters is Mr. Erickson Ramos.
Presenting the starters for the Cignal HD Spikers, Brian Bagunas is back. And they're also back with their first unit to go alongside the best player in their previous outing, that is Mads Gampong. Well, after all, this is a team that's gearing up for the semifinals, so for sure they're looking for that right combination before next week. On the other end, we're seeing familiar names. Razel Palisok, the leader of this Maverick squad.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
there as
Cignal
well, the former team captain of the Navigators, Iloilo. And there's Brian Bagunas. Since this is our first time covering him, is this your first time covering him in this conference?
I think so, yeah. This is the first time that I'll be watching Brian play here in the Spikers turf. So we know that his explosiveness will be present.
Ooh. Not a good first ball for Brian Bagunas. That caught everybody by surprise.
Good start for Maverick. Just by looking on the floor of Maverick, masabi mo, there are a lot of young players on the squad. And for sure, they need more exposure. They need more games here in the Spikers turf in the next coming conferences to develop their chemistry, to develop their flow against the stronger teams or yung more established clubs.
Lloyd Josafat just scored his first point in this game. He missed out on the previous outing. But to your point about the youth of Maverick, their oldest player, Razel Palisok, is not even 30 years old. They're that young. Set up to Razel, point off the block.
Good start for Maverick. You want to keep it close with Cignal. In a way, VNS was able to expose some of the liabilities and some of the patterns of Cignal HD. Let's see if nag-scout itong Maverick.
Service inside. CNC lang, Josafat activated early in this game. That's 2 points already for him.
He clearly has that height advantage against the hard hitters. But if Maverick can exchange attack points with Cignal HD, and they can really put up that challenge.
As you always say, keep it tight and then pray for magic by the end of the set against contenders. Cordes setting it through. CNC lang, Josafat, third point.
A lot of engagement in the middle for CNC lang.
Well, this would really open up things for Jao Mandal, Brian Bagunas, and Mads Gampong.
Jao Mandal is also coming off a stellar performance in the 5th set against VNS. I think he scored 7 or 8 points in that frame. He ended at 15-8. Now we see a service ace from Brian Bagunas.
I mean, that was just strong and fast. How would you prepare yourself against the serve of Brian Bagunas?
You have to be in the perfect position. That's number one. You have to be able to at least absorb the power in that jump serve. Hindi naman kailangan perfect pag ganyan kalakas yung mga jump serve. Basta settable, playable, magagawa ng paraan ng playmaker ng Maverick.
And that's what happened in the previous sequence off of the receive by Alfaro. There was an error on the other end for Lloyd Josafat. Cignal still has the advantage for serving 3, or make that 3 serving 4. That's in. Silang, Josafat again. He really is the main option so far for the HD Spikers. Chance ball. A lot of time for Cian. Same option. And that's another point for Lloyd.
The 4th or 5th quick attack from Lloyd Josafat. High percentage attacking right now. Yeah, that's officially the 4th attack point.
The other point was a service ace by Brian Bagunas. Now there's a block. Was that JP Bugawan?
Well, it was a 3-man block, so it was hard to check kung kanino na punta yung block na yun.
JP Bugawan alongside Jao Mandal rarely saw playing time in their previous outing, but boy were they efficient during the minutes that they had. That's a scramble forced by Maverick, and it's a point for the black shirts.
This time it was hard hitters who set up that quick attack.
Quick response.
If you're against a strong blocking team like Cignal HD, kailangan mapagana mo lahat. Hindi pwedeng masyadong basic yung plays kasi mababantayan talaga. And look at that. This time it was JP Bugawan off that P-quick.
Well, if you want to talk about efficiency, JP Bugawan is usually there at the top in terms of his spiking percentage. Alongside his younger brother in Teng Bugawan, they've worked on attacking since they were very young, as opposed to the other middle blockers who just focused on blocking in their youth. Ball up by Kim Tan. He will now attack from the back. That's a chance ball. Bugawan tipping it through. Kept alive by Maverick. Alfaro onto Jerome Cortez. Usual angle for him. Still no point. Longest rally so far. Umandal, that was low.
That will be the first attack error of Jao Mandal in this game. Was coming off a loose ball that was coming from behind.
For redemption. No point for Jao. Here's the counter. They send it to Kim Tan down the line. That's not available for any save because the ball sailed too far already.
Kim Tan continues to be the go-to guy for the hard hitters. But it started off with a good rebound from the blockers. They were able to set up their counter-attack. It was a smooth transition for the hard hitters.
Maverick keeping it tight, 6-7. Good save by Cortez. Kim Tan, not much power. Dug up by Gampong. They push to the left. Jao Umandal. Good effort by Alfaro. Jerome, back to Kim. Rejected by JP Bugawan. Coverage present. 180 set. Kim Tan down the line. That didn't work. Silang sent it straight to the antenna.
Silang wanted to go for a push. Wanted to target that corner pocket.
7-all. That serve went inside. Really sharp for Jerome Cortez. And so that will send us to our first technical timeout. Maverick on top. Oh, we have a challenge. Okay, after all, Coach Dex did have a nice angle to it. He's standing near that end line. Neil, is this start concerning you again for Cignal HD?
Not really. Kadalasan yung first 8 points up to the first technical timeout, that's the time na nagsasettle down pa lang yung mga players on both ends of the court. So let's see. But Maverick has been doing well. They've adjusted their blocking pattern. Kanina, single block lang yung tumatalon para sa quick attacks ng Cignal HD. But now, they're getting a lot of rebounds against Jao Umandal.
Ball in, ball out. That was outside, so the challenge will be successful. Cignal will get the lead as we head on to our first technical timeout.
Is successful. End of the first technical timeout of set number 1.
Nagbabalik po ang Spikers Turf Open Conference 2024. Last game against VNS Nasty. It was a wake-up call for the Cignal HD Spikers. Their post-game huddle lasted for a good hour. The team was very emotional. They were unimpressed despite the win that they had. Wala silang pahinga. They went straight to training the very next day and worked on their flaws and weaknesses. And speaking of walang pahinga, yes, Brian Bagunas is back. He just arrived from Taiwan 2 days ago. Diretso rin siya sa ensayo the very next day, and he is here to compete, and he is focused on winning that ship. And considering the team's hunger and Brian's return, expect a more energetic and aggressive Cignal team. Back to you, Migs and Neil.
Thank you, Baileys. Yes, they did spend a decent amount of time on the court inside the Papa Arena as Jao Mandag gets a service ace. Na-mention ni Baileys, isang oras yun. At alam mo yung nakakatuwa dun? It was actually quite ironic for Cignal. The VNS players were actually waiting for them to finish so that they could take pictures with the Cignal HD Spikers. That's a good sign of respect, and good for Cignal to also give out the time to those youngsters of VNS who did perform very well against them. We shall continue 10-7. JP Bugawan, that's inside.
Now they build a 4-point lead off that Bugawan attack. Cignal is just using their heavy serving to disrupt the passes of Maverick.
We have a timeout.
Pwede ka mag-long line. Mabilis na mahaba na palo lang, ha? Mabilis, mabilis. Kim, sige lang. Kuha mo na pasa. Tulong-tulong sa pasa ulit, ha? O, apat lang. Up tayo. Up. One out lang. Side out, press. Side out.
Coach Erickson, by the way, is a busy guy. Just yesterday, we saw him with the Cheritigo crossovers in the PVL. Now, he's trying to overcome this 4-0 run and this 4-point advantage of Cignal HD after a literal back and forth to start this game.
Listening to that Maverick timeout, their coach was instructing them to also go for power because the defense of Cignal, it's prepared to take these soft hits. Nandun na agad sa likod ng blockers yung mga defenders. So ang daling mag-counter eh. So you really have to challenge the blockers of Cignal.
Kim Tan, cross court, that dropped. Talk about challenging the blockers of Cignal.
Great point coming off that timeout. Just finding the right angle to get past the hands of JP Bugawan.
Side out. Service inside for Rabino. Silang pushes to Brian Bagunas. Well, this is the first time that we're seeing him in the front row, right?
In terms of height, this is probably the shortest rotation for Maverick. So you can expect a lot of simple plays for Cignal HD.
The Maverick players are cheering themselves on. You can really see the height disadvantage for them in this game. Sabero onto their middle blocker. That's the middle blocker in Cabillan. You can see how small he is compared to Brian Bagunas. Palisok back row. Ooh, that's still hit Mats Gampong.
Judgment call for Mats Gampong. He was in doubt. So when you're in doubt, just get that ball. At that time, he wasn't able to control the power in the hit of Palisok. Good thinking also from the setter of Maverick. to go for that reverse set because the blockers were already prepared for Kim Tan.
Oh, Brian Bagunas was under it. Everybody just seems to be in awe watching this guy inside the United Sports Arena, whether or not he makes a mistake.
He's a different beast now.
Yeah.
He was already strong in college, but the growth, I mean, I don't know how that happened.
This guy had cramps versus Chris Cross. He returned and he was still the best player of the game. Talking about Brian Bagunas. Palisok had to recalculate. This is a chance ball. Umandal sets up Bagunas, who also had to recalculate. Free ball on the other end. Palisok, one blocker down the line. That was in.
Razel Palisok is getting involved in the scoring picture. They need at least 2 scorers in this matchup. Maganda na nagsasabay si Palisok and si Tan sa harapan.
That's 2 of their 3 top scorers in this conference. In between them is Jerome Cortez. Silang, Bagunas for retribution. That was a no-look hit.
It was just above the double block of Maverick. That's the thing. You already know that Cignal will be going to Brian Bagunas. Nandun ka for the block. It's just that antaas spike reach. Mahirap talaga siya maabot. So from time to time, you have to adjust the timing of your block. Pwedeng paunahin mo si Brian kasi may hang time pa. Then tsaka kasusunod.
So sobrang delayed.
But it's easier said than done.
Right. The Brian Bagunas was just given a gift and he easily exploited it. So now it's 14-11. I'm pretty sure Brian's going to pile up the points in this game. Ooh, that's a service ace. Sian Silang, by the way, is number 2 in the Spikers turf in terms of serving.
Everybody just putting emphasis on their serves. A while ago, it was Brian Bagunas and Jao Mandal scoring from that line. This time, it was Sian Silang from that jump float.
Service in. Alfaro receives. Palisok from the middle. Ooh, got a deflection, but the recovery was late for Cignal.
Pancake save was not good for Baguna, so Palisok will get another point for Maverick.
So Brian Bagunas seems to be playing lightly here. Has a good attitude. He's having fun with his team. That's a good sign as he continues to build chemistry with them before they proceed to the semis. Kim Tan, service in. Silang on to Josafat, the top scorer of Cignal HD.
That will be point number 5 for Lloyd Josafat.
Replay first. There you go. Nice activation for the middle blocker. Second technical timeout. Cignal by 4.
Short hair or long hair?
Short hair.
Serve or receive?
Serve.
Practice or rest?
Practice.
City tour or beach vacation?
Beach vacation, syempre.
Pancake or puto?
Pancake.
Ace or
Brian
kill?
Bagunas
Ace.
for the HD
Hip-hop or
Spikers.
rap?
Hip-hop tayo, hip-hop.
Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Awesome live sports viewing is guaranteed with Cignal yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Switch now and get up to 3 months with no cash out. Visit www.cignal.tv/switch for more details. We just saw a video of EJ Casanya. By the way, the players had to be careful as well with their answers because Coach Dex was intently watching those featured videos here inside the arena, as now we just got to see a point off of Razel Palisok.
The three-headed monster for the Maverick Hard Hitters. Cortez, Palisok, and Han. All wing Spikers. Just trying their best to match the output of Lloyd Josafat and the rest of the HD Spikers again.
Yeah.
CNC lang goes for that quick attack.
Well, Josafat did get so much rest, having not played in the previous game, but he was there inside the Paco Arena supporting his teammates. So he's up to 6 points. Service inside, Kim Tan receives. We talked about his receptions. You would prefer to reach double figures in this game. There's a violation against Jao Umandal.
That infraction will be called on Zhao. Just a 2-point ball game for Maverick.
Hard Hitters keeping it close before they take on Richmark Sports for the last game this Sunday. That's also a must-watch game. Back set, Pagunas reading the defense. Counter, Jerome, cross-court. Dug up by Vince Lorenzo. Chased by Cian. Zhao sending it through. And here's the counter. Cortez down the line. That was inside.
There was also a net infraction called on Mads Kampong. So Maverick is doing well here in the first set. They're catching up with Cignal. And they're working for their points. As in, nakaka-convert talaga sila off their hits. They're not banking on the errors of Cignal, and that's what you like.
Let's see if they can be consistent at this. JP Pugawan with a quick hammer. Everything happened so fast. Now we have a double sub, EJ Casanya and Buboy Mark Calado. Wow, if you were the blockers, you just had to have very fast reflexes. It's 18-16, EJ with the full front line. Kim Tan receives. And that's a nice block by JP.
Maverick still looking for that connection in the middle.
Is there a net touch as well? Yep. Rabino will be truly challenged in this afternoon. Now it's Cortez against two blockers. He prevails.
Just fearless on the attack. Doesn't get bothered by the hands of JP Pugawan. JP Pugawan is one of our best middle blockers.
Statistically speaking, his numbers aren't as high as before. But do you think that's a product of having a deeper roster?
Yep, that can be a factor. And
Speaking of a deeper roster.
if you have substitutions like that, mahati talaga yung stats.
Exactly. Mark Calado, if I remember it correctly, was a runner-up to Josh Ibanez in the MVP race for UAP Season 85. He was definitely the top scorer of Far Eastern University. Good to see him back attacking from the left pin. Jao Umandal, another strong serve. Regalo. Too easy for Buboy.
May spring yan sa pie.
Uh-oh.
You cannot deliver an overpass.
My oh my. Marcalado has had to work with his patience in getting his touches with Cignal HD, a part of his transition for this team. But now we have a timeout.
Mahaba ko ng set dito. Bird! Mahaba ko ng set dito. Wala kayo bang papaluin dito ha. Kung gusto mo power tip. Tignan mo yung blocker mo kung saan nang gagaling. Sino outside? Kim! Pag binigay sa'yo, Kim! Pag binigay sa'yo ha, diskartehan mo na. Pag nakita mong single block ka, kasi magkukumit yan kay Popo eh. Todo mo sa cross, pwede. Ha? Pasa muna, pasa. Bilisan mo yung palo. Lumutang ka, wag ka sumiksik net.
Hey, side up.
That was pretty technical, Neil. What
If
did
you
get
want
from it?
to get a full range on your hit as a middle blocker, you have to get that distance between the net and your approach. Importante yung break foot eh. Kasi pag masyado kang malapit sa net, the tendency would be to commit a net infraction or to deliver the hit directly to the hands of the blockers. So yun yung pinapoint out ni Coach EJ a while ago. And as per instructions for the outside hitter, very simple. If you see a single blocker, just deliver a power hit cross court.
That's for Jerome Cortez and Kim Tan, the diagonal for Coach Erickson. There was a service error by Jao Umandal. That's why the score is now 18, serving 21 in set number 1. Ooh, service error on the other end. That's by Rabino, John Raymond Rabino.
not the best of time to commit the service error. A while ago, they were able to trim the lead down to 2. Now it's back to 4 for Cignal HD. And Brian Bagunas is in the front line.
JP Bugawan serving it in. That's a point for Cignal. What went wrong for the setter in Cebrero?
Cebrero wanted to go for a dump ball, pero sometimes if you become too aggressive, hindi mo makokontrol yung follow-through. So, he did commit that violation.
So we're back with JP. 23 serving 18. Ball up by Alfaro. And here's Kim Tan. That's dug up by EJ Casanya. Zhao sets up Buboy. Calado is blocked. Coverage by Lloyd. Back row. That was low for Zhao.
Another attack error there. He prefers a little bit more height sa pipe attack. We know that EJ Casanya loves giving low fast sets, but height is important for attackers like Zhao and Brian.
Service in. Received by Lorenzo. Casanya. That's a higher set there. And it worked for Mark Calado.
Cignal will get to a set point. Mark Calado has delivered quality minutes for Coach Dexter.
Very efficient. 5 set points. Buboy at the back. Signature jump serve straight to the net.
3 point for Maverick. As Cignal commits another unforced error, this time off the service line.
20-24 now. Kim Tan doing the honors. He needs to serve continuously for them to buy themselves a chance, but that's not the case. As Lloyd Azafat will finish things off in set number 1.
He's been the main option for all the setters of Cignal. And now he will get that final point. Lloyd Azafat will finish this first set with a production of 7 points as the top scorer for the HD Spikers.
Stupid lang. Sa pag-ibig ko sa'yo, ako'y bilanggo. Tumingin sa salamin na alalang nakalipas. Masakit palang maging what? Raining in Manila, hindi ka ba nilalamig?
Back inside the Inares Sports Arena in Pasig City, where we got to hear the magical voice of JP Bugawan and Jao Mandal. Definitely enjoyed that video. Thank you to our Spikers Turf Talents for sharing your voices to us. Now, Neil Flores will share to us his voice once again as he breaks down the highlights and his thoughts for set number 1.
Set number 1, the standout was really the serving of Cignal HD. They did tally a couple of points from that department, but aside from that, yung setters talaga, they activated the middles a lot. Kadalasan we would see a couple of sets, then ibabato na nila sa wing spikers, but in that first set, most of the sets really went to Lloyd Azafat and JP Bugawan. They still dominated that department. They're back in form. We saw in the stats a while ago that VNS had more attacks compared to Cignal. There in the first set, Cignal had 5 more attacks compared to the hard hitters. They were able to register 2 blocks. Look at the aces.
Yes.
4 big serves coming from Cignal HD. And there were also a lot of shank passes aside from the service aces. And that was the reason why they were able to convert some gifts as well.
You can imagine if Cignal actually limited its errors in set number 1, it might have even been a double-digit lead for them. You mentioned the middle blockers. Josafat has 7, Bugawan has 4. That's your top 2 scorers, with Bagunas also tied up with Bugawan. And on the other end, it's Palisok and Cortez combining for 8 points. Let's see if Maverick can bounce back in set number 2 as they try to gain momentum before their last game this Sunday versus Richmark Sports. On the other end for Brian Bagunas, this is his returning game in the Spikers turf to team up with CM Silang. This team will see action next week, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday as a part of our top 4, the semifinals. We have to mention as well that our top 4 is not yet set because, Neil, we have Savoj still in the hunt, just behind PGJC Navy and D Navigators, but they're gonna have to beat Chris Cross later on.
It's going to be a tough assignment for the Savoj Spin Doctors. If they lose that game, I think the final forecast will be complete.
Actually, PGJC Navy and D Navigators will face each other this Sunday. It's like a preview of the semifinals.
That will be the last game of Savoj as well, so it really is a must-win because if they end up with a 4-4 record, kahit anong maging resulta ng D Navigators and PGJC Navy, they will still hold to that number 3 and number 4 slot. And in the semifinals, there's no advantage for the top teams. It will be a round-robin format. And I'm sure everybody's looking forward to the rematch of Cignal and Chris Cross.
And that's just the semis. May finals pa after that, if those two will qualify. Cignal got the first point in set 2, and they also get the second point.
This time off the pipe tap of Ryan Bagunas. Double block. Was there for the middle blocker of Cignal HD. But they forgot about Bagunas in the back row.
Have you noticed the kids directly in front of us? They're giving me the vibe that they're here to learn from Brian Bagunas. They were certainly in awe in that previous sequence, but now Maverick just got their first point in set 2.
And, Maverick showed everybody in the first set that they can also get their own attacks in this match. This time, it was a point from the middle blocker. Nakita na natin na nakakuha na ng puntos si mga wing spikers ng hard hitters. So now it's time for the middles to also step up and contribute.
By the way, that middle blocker, Jethro Capillan, is a product of Arellano University. He's been undersized for most of his volleyball years, as now there's an error committed by Maverick. One last point about Mr. Jethro Capillan. One of his mentors from Tacloban is actually here on the other side of the net. And his name is Peter Torres. I wonder how he can continue to grow with that mentorship.
Peter Torres is now in the coaching staff of Cignal HD.
Babalik pa ba yan? As now, Russell Palisok scores.
For sure.
Bata pa.
Russell Palisok this time delivering another powerful attack, squeezing the ball through the hands of Lloyd Josafat.
3 blockers, no problem. For redemption, Brian Bagunas from the back. My, oh my.
How do you defend that? You need to hope na mahawakan ng blocker yung palo ni Brian para at least bumagal ng onte. Because if the blockers aren't able to touch that ball,
mag-isa lang din
hindi ko
doon
alam kung paano may aangat yun.
Exactly. Sikitin was all alone in the middle. Now there's a misreceive. That was a tough chase. No more for Cebrero, so that ace belongs to Jao Umandal. Service ace number 3 for Jao.
Wasn't the strongest of hits or serves rather for Jao Umandal, but he just found the right target in Cortez.
It's 5 serving 2. Jao Umandal, another strong serve. Cebrero That's a block. Lloyd Osafat challenging Sekitin.
Set was a bit low. Coach was asking for a loop type of a set. Para maka-discard din. Look at that. It was directly in front of Lloyd Osafat. It was very easy for him to block that hit.
Cebrero sent it again to Jerome Cortez, who couldn't score. And now here's Mads Campong. It's still rolled through. Jerome sending it to the other side. Chance ball, Cignal HD. Lloyd Osafat, down it goes.
On his way to the double-digit mark. He's already at 9 points.
That's off of 8 attacks for Lloyd Osafat. 2 points coming in this set for the former UE Red Warrior. A natural middle blocker, but he had to transition to the opposite spiker position on his last playing year, while he was also in the lineup of Cotabato. Remember that team? Is now Umandal, also a member of that team, just gave us a service error.
3-7.
It's 3-7. Team captain, Razel Palisok. Sharp serve, ball up by Jao. Silang pushes to Brian Bagunas. Looking like Superman.
Kim Tan was there. He was in the perfect position, but it was just too fast for him to handle.
Even his teammates are just in awe. Wow, great elevation by Brian Bagunas. Coach Dexter is looking so happy at the sideline.
Technical timeout of the second set.
Back inside the Inaris Sports Arena in Pasig City, we spoke about Kim Tan of the Maverick Hard Hitters a while ago. Him staying strong, and the short story about Kim, last game versus Savoj, although they fell short, and despite Kim being the top scorer of his team, Kim was enduring a fever at the time. He had been experiencing it for days, even missed trainings because of the symptoms. But for Kim, being one of the veterans of the team, he wants to lead by example. He truly wants to give his all for the team and be a role model to his younger teammates. And similar story for the Maverick Hard Hitters as a whole. They want to keep learning from each match, give their all, and they are unfocused on the score and the standings. Back to you, Migs and Neil.
Thank you, Bailey. So it was a flu game for Kim Tan in their previous outing. I mean, it's hard to imagine somebody sick and he continues to play, as now Maverick gets a good block point. Oh, do we have a challenge? Or was it just a miscue on the buzzer?
There's no challenge.
Coach Dex, sabi niya, wala akong pinindot.
Confusion or technical glitch. There will be a substitution for the Maverick Hard Hitters, Teodones.
So he replaces Jerome Cortez. Romero Teodones came off the bench in all 3 sets in the previous game and scored 3 points. Service in, Jao receives, Silang to Bagunas. The ball goes to Neil Flores. That's a point off the block.
JP Bugawan again off the quick attack. It's shaping up to be a middle blocker game for the HD Spikers.
That's 6 points for JP Bugawan, following the 9 of Osapat. In between them is Brian Bagunas with 7. Is that a miss hit by Tan? Either way, the ball still went through. Bagunas blocked. Coverage by Mads. JP, another block. tough chase for Silang. Sandy Montero sends it to the other side. Chance ball Maverick. They send it onto the back, and it works for Razel Palisok.
You have to really give credit to Sekitin as he was able to block the hits of JP Bugawan and Brian Bagunas. Razel Palisok was there for the finish.
That must feel really good. In one sequence, you block those two guys. That also felt good for Razel Palisok. That was play red, right? Alam mo ba yan? In US, yung mga back row. Red sa kanan, blue sa kaliwa. That was taught to us by Coach George Pascua. As now, Buboy Calado just scored from the left pin.
He's so light on his feet. Like when he approaches, nakikita mo ang gaan-gaan ni Mark Calado. So when he gets that peak elevation, you know that's gonna be a point for Cignal.
And talk about people who seem to look light. Brian Bagunas also falls in that category. Service ace for him. I want to go back to Buboy Calado. The lightness that you just characterized. Did you actually give credit to FEU for that?
Yeah, I mean they're the home of the most, one of the most athletic athletes, and lahat ng pumapasok sa kanila parang merong extra ano eh.
May bulkiness nga rin eh. Pero hindi sila...
Extra kick of athleticism meron ganun sa FEU eh.
It's like they're really toned. That might be the best description to it. They don't look heavy at all. It's JP Bugawan. Nice wing also from that FEU program.
With their adjustments from JP Bugawan.
Like that.
Home behind the blockers of the hard hitters. This is now a 9-point lead after a close opening set. Cignal is just pulling away.
13-6. Bugawan sends it in. That's a misreceive. Regalo para kay Jao.
Has been the biggest problem for the hard hitters. They're receiving.
Maverick Hard Hitters.
There you go. Tic-tac-toe for Jao Mandal, and we have a timeout for Maverick.
Para masingil yung wing yan. Yung wing, pipilitin niya makakuha ng block para at single tayo. So, atake tayo. JM, go. Go lang, go, go. Hey! Maverick! Go!
Back for Cignal versus Maverick. It's 14-6 in set number 2. Mark Calado and company are looking good. Calado has had to adjust not only with his patience but with his defense. He's expected to block more compared to floor defense now with Cignal HD, because he was an outside spiker back in his day for FEU. JP Bugawan sending it through. That's another misreceive. Cebrero had to chase it. Tan, chance ball, and here's the counter. Back set, Buboy off the block.
Cignal is just utilizing all of the free balls given to them by the hard hitters. Loose block coming from the net defense of Maverick. Cignal continues to pull away here in the second set.
It's as if they heard you in our pregame that you were looking for their attacks. Because now it was almost another service ace. Cebrero will send it through for a chance ball. Casanya back sets. Buboy, an easy one.
That's what you get when you activate the middles. Blockers will commit, and this will now be a 10-point lead in the second technical timeout for Cignal.
30-second technical timeout of set number 2.
Arena Plus, a stake to sports. We are inside the United Sports Arena with our beautiful and good-looking fans left and right. Good to have him here. This is our second to the last day of preliminaries for the Spikers Turf Open Conference. This is Mix Gomez alongside Neil Flores and Bailey Sakot at your service. A push for a chance. Cignal maximizes from the back. Buelo pa lang. Alam mo na.
Ilista mo na.
Can we pause this replay? Oh my goodness, look at that. That's how many inches above the net?
Even if there was a blocker there, for sure, it was still going to be a point for Brian Bagunas. Ang taas nung daan ng palo, just hitting it straight down.
Wendell Miguel now makes his first appearance, joining Gils Torres, who also made his first appearance in this set. JP Bugawan will now do the honors. Sharp serve. Another miss receive. It's been a struggle for Teodonis. This is practically a chance. EJ to the middle. Gils Torres delivers.
Quick wrist action from Torres as he gets his first point of the match. Coach Dex deciding to use most of his second stringers in this match. Later on, for sure, makita pa natin sila Alfred Valbuena, La Rosales. Everybody needs to be prepared for the semifinals.
Silang dalawa na nga lang, hindi pa nagagamit. Calado tried to push it. Coverage present for Bagunas. The chase was on, but it was not enough for Cignal.
Finally, a break point for the hard hitters. That point.
Great timing by Russell Palisok, and meron ding flick of the wrist to return the ball.
Kim Tan, service zone.
Here's Kim Tan, off of his flu game, as mentioned by Bailey's in their previous outing. Combination, Mark Calado. Mataas na rin sa lagay na yun.
Blockers just look confused on the side of the hard hitters.
Calado is now up to 7 points in this game. Jump serve. Inside, a better receive. Backs it. Palisok. Sandy Montero keeping it alive. Wendell sends it through. Maverick pipe. That's low for Kim Tan.
Cignal will now get to the 20-point mark.
A 13-point advantage. It was a close set number 1, so this is definitely a different story. We have a timeout.
Para hindi bomba balik sa atin. Paluin nyo, kahit iyaban nyo pa zone 1, wala naman tao doon. Pwede rin doon at doon. Isang pasa. Advantage ka dito, kaya mo yan si Wendell. JM, pag binigay sa'yo, kaya mo yan palabasin. Basta paluin nyo lang. Kukover tayo para at least may support tayong mga attacker natin. Pag kaya to, please follow. Pasono tayo. Bert, pakagatin mo dito. Basta rin naman lutang, bababa ka. Lutang mo na ko.
20-7. Cignal HD looking good after 3 straight 5-set matches. They've been definitely challenged after 4 sweeps to start the conference. So can they go back to how it used to be? That is the question. Good thing is Brian Bagunas is back as well. Here's Buboy. Calado, that is long.
3-point for the hard hitters.
3-point for Maverick.
They will have 3 attackers in the front row. Hopefully they can string up a couple of consecutive points.
8-20, Miguel receives. There's a back set. Calado, oh, he's feeling it.
Off a touch. Calado with
8 points now for Mark Calado.
Recovery is always quick for Cignal. When they give up a free point off the error, next rally they get to recalibrate everything.
13-point advantage. What a serve by Wendell Miguel.
Teodonis has been the main target of the servers of Cignal HD. Alfred Valbuena will replace Brian Bagunas in the front line.
Big shoes to fill. Welcome back, Alfred. He started in the previous game, coming in with a smile. Bagunas gets high fives from the bench. Here's Wendell Miguel. 22 serving 8. Sharp serve. A better receive by Kim Tan. Palisok. Cross court. That's dug up by Calado. EJ pushes to Wendell. Ball to the sky. No more save.
From the back row, Wendell Miguel.
That will be the second point of Wendell Miguel. Before Brian Bagunas returned to the Philippines, it was Wendell Miguel who was manning the outside hitter position for Cignal. Even in the past conferences, it's just sa mga staples sa starting unit.
That's why he was third in terms of scoring for Cignal HD, just behind JP Bugawan and Jao Umandal. He comes into this matchup, he came into this matchup having scored 47 already in this conference. Double sub, we have Rakaza checking in alongside Galgana for the Maverick Hard Hitters. So Juan Miguel Galgana will be setting things up for his teammates. He will also be serving. 9:23 in set 2. Ball up by Valbuena, not the best of receives, but he approaches and scores. That looked good for Alfred.
From analyst,
Oh, yes.
Cignal
HD Spiker.
Well, I've talked to you guys, and most have mentioned that you also learned a lot of things being an analyst.
Yes, definitely.
It's a different view.
It's a different perspective when you really observe the small details.
Not to mention, you have to back it up with your game as well, the things that you say on air. 24-9, 15 set points. Gils Torres sending it in. There's a back set. Nice block. Valbuena and Rosales. The last two from the bench of Coach Dexter Rosales. Or Dexter Clamor able to deliver here. So it's a block point to end it all in set 2.
There will be a challenge.
by Maverick. The challenge is
Oh wait, there's more. We have a challenge. Coach Erickson telling everybody, do not cross as of yet. Stay there. We have a challenge. Dalawa pa nga naman ang challenge nila.
They're asking for a net touch on the blockers of Cignal.
I love the sportsmanship between the two coaches. Maliit nga naman ang volleyball community, the men's volleyball community. Okay, just wait for the challenge here. Might as well. Maverick still asking for a miracle. Coach Dex is asking our cameraman to show somebody's face. But before that, we have this replay. What do you think? Malinis?
upon review. There is
Maverick tried, but to no avail.
is unsuccessful.
Ayun, napalo si Coach Erickson ni Coach Dexter Clamor. Our teams will cross courts. We'll cross the court. We'll take a short break.
Masabayan ng panya, nagkalilat magyap sa bago. Jopay, mayonnaise. Aalis tayo sa tunay na mundo.
There you have it. Spike the Mic, in my opinion, the greatest featured videos that we have ever had in the Spikers term. Big shout out to our production team for your service. Thank you so much. But now let's talk about set number 2 in this matchup. It was actually a much cleaner set by Cignal HD.
And it was the same problems for the Maverick Hard Hitters. They weren't able to receive well, so that translated into a lot of free balls for the Cignal HD Spikers. Coach Dex used a lot of substitutions, but this was one of the most dominant sets of Cignal in the entire conference. It was a 25-9 set score. And Maverick only registered 3 attacks in set number 1. Ang ganda nung pinakita nila, but they weren't able to answer back in the second frame. They were able to register 2 blocks, but 4 of their points actually came from the errors of Cignal HD. So technically, they worked for 5 points lang, and masyadong konti if you are competing against a team like Cignal na overall kompleto yung skill set as a team.
Oh, that was a nice hit from the middle. Cignal able to continue with their prowess in set number 3.
Maverick has to go back to set number 1. They have to remember how they performed in that frame, because up to the second technical timeout, dikit na dikit lang yung score eh. So first things first, they really have to be stable on the pass.
And that was low on the hit by Kim Tan. That's an error for Maverick. (2-0) Alfred Valbuena off to a good start. He did check in late in set number 2. Sakitin tried to score to no avail. Casanya with a lot of time pushing it to Alfred. Cross court. Dug up by Alfaro. A chase by Zebrero. And that drop works perfectly for Mavericks Franz Racaza.
And that's a start. Soft tip works against the 3-man block of the HD Spikers.
Kim Tan will now be serving. Ball up by Wendell. Casanya to the open. Mark Calado off the block. Oh, we have a challenge. Nope. It seems like the coaches of Maverick weren't convinced.
Palisok was saying na bumalik kay Mark Calado. Tumama muna sa kanya before it went out of bounds, but coaching staff will not agree. They will give that point to Cignal.
Mark Calado definitely wasn't convinced as well. 3-1, back set. Palisok went over. That's a chase for Alfred. And Wendell will give up a free ball. Alfaro, Sabrero, back set again. Palisok sending it through, and a late pancake for Sandy Montero.
It's another attack point for the Hard Hitters. Leading scorers on both ends of the court. Calado already has 8 points. Palisok, on the other hand, has 7.
Here's Buboy Calado. Oh, service outside. Can't afford that if you're Jay Sekitin and company. For serving 2 now, Gils Torres. Continuing to represent the red and the white. Oh, Palisok, that was really tight. Good recognition by Wendell. Chase for Kim. Sabero giving up a chance ball. A lot of time. EJ, Roniel, push. And there was a hole in the middle exploited by Mr. Rosales, but Maverick will now challenge this.
This will be a floor touch challenge. They are claiming that the pancake save was good from the setter, Zebrero.
it is looking tighter here in the start of set number 3, but it's a long way to go. Cignal can make a big difference. It was in the middle part of set 2, right? Wherein they pulled away. Okay, floor touch or not? There is a floor touch. Yeah, it is unsuccessful. That's what it means.
The majority of the ball already touched the floor. So kahit natamaan ng fingertips, that will still be an illegal save.
5-2 now. Service in. Good receive. Cabillan, nice approach. The native of Tacloban showing us what Peter Torres taught him.
He may be undersized, pero yung sipag, kitang-kita mo. And he just followed the instructions. He was able to get proper distance from the net. And he was able to deliver that full swing. Wendell Miguel on the other side of the court will also score.
With a full swing. 6-3. Marcalado back at the service line. Jump serve inside. Kim Tan receives. Cebrero 1-2. That works. Nice move.
He tried that a while ago, but he was not successful. So this time around, he made sure that he had enough elevation to deliver that thump ball.
Wilbert Cebrero, the setter of Jose Rizal University, he told me that he's been used to having not the tallest of spikers, so this isn't too big of a transition for him. Ooh, nice dig by Palisok. Cebrero pushes to the open. That's dug up by Vince Lorenzo. Counter, Marcalado, quite low, coverage present. Wendell, left hand, yes.
Cebrero was out of position to go for that block, and Wendell Miguel saw that opportunity to just put it over. It was a simple push from Wendell Miguel.
Pero maganda yung direction ng bola. 7 serving 4, nice approach on the serve, and that's gonna go to our air conditioning unit. First technical timeout, 8-4.
Nakatutok po kayo sa Spikers Turf Open Conference 2024. For the Cignal HD Spikers, their performance in this match is the complete opposite of their last outing. They quickly responded to that quote-unquote unimpressive win of theirs, and them polishing their rotation with Brian Bagunas back, them also focusing on their defense, specifically their service reception. All these adjustments are very much evident today, and with that, the team's environment or aura is much lighter, more positive and enthusiastic. They are simply locked in on gaining momentum for the playoffs. Back to you, Migs and Neil.
Thank you, Baylis. Well, it's actually quite challenging if you think about it, because Bagunas has been in and out. So he returned to the Philippines to literally go up against the strongest counterpart that they have in the Spikers turf. Mawala siya ulit. Tapos ngayon, babalik siya. So, you know, you can just also imagine how busy Cignal is in terms of working with film and adjusting in the practices.
even before the arrival of Brian Bagunas, he was already, I mean, Cignal was already one of the favorite teams to head into the next round until the final round. And they have been perfect so far, 7-0. They have a chance to sweep the preliminary round once again. They already did it in the past. In one conference, they were able to sweep the entire league. From preliminaries to the semifinals to the finals.
Actually, the trend for Cignal as they get the block point is that when it's the conference without collegiate teams, that's when they dominated. So this would actually be the first conference without collegiate teams wherein they have most likely their toughest foe.
Sometimes mas maganda pa yung kilos ng collegiate teams compared to club teams because they train more. Some of the club teams, it's not an everyday type of training schedule.
Some have day jobs.
Yeah, some have day jobs, but for collegiate teams, sometimes twice a day pa. So you know that they are ready to compete in competitions like this.
Bakro gitna. Branch gitna ka, bakro. Para at least magkaiwalay lang, Bert, para magkaiwalay. O, pasa lang ulit, pasa, para magkaiwalay. Triangle tayo, triangle. O, sige, angat lang natin ulit, angat lang. Laban nyo, laban. May pasa naman, di na tayo makakonvert. Nagkakapasa. Go, 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 go.
This is now the biggest lead for Cignal HD in set number 3. Coach Erickson just said, may pasa naman, but we have to convert. Let's see if they can counter Roniel Rosales and company. Roniel is definitely enjoying this game. He was from Perpetual, right? Yeah, to my knowledge, he was from Perpetual, which means his former coach is actually watching him inside the Inares Sports Arena. Coach Sammy Akailar will have a game later on versus Chris Cross representing Savage. Kim Tan, down the line target, dug up by Buboy. Ooh, that was a miscue.
Set was a bit high for Torres.
Point for Maverick.
Point for Maverick. Now they have a full front line. Let's see if Cebrero can capitalize on this. Wilbert has 4 excellent sets so far. Oh, that went straight to the net.
Plus 1 for Cignal. 12 serving 6.
EJ Casanya. Misreceive. Nice block. Great timing by Torres and Valbuena. One more. This time, right pin. Another block. The duo still at it.
And another organized block displayed by the Cignal HD Spikers. Look at that.
Alfred Valbuena jogging it off after the block. Now we have a substitution for Maverick. That was Carl Justin Honrado. EJ Casanya sending it in. Ball up. Back set. Honrado. First appearance, first point.
Honrado displaying fighting spirit in that last hit. Great reverse set also from Cebrero. Torres was a little bit late. And Honrado just found that gap in between the blockers of Cignal to get that point.
7-13 now. Valbuena. That was really low. Still is a good cushion for Alfred and company. Back with Honrado. Came off the bench in their previous game and scored 3 points. Casanya to the quick. Torres, quick thinking there. And here's, ooh, an open hit by Rakaza. That didn't work. Counter for Buboy. Coverage by Vince. EJ, pipe, push, scramble forced. And Palisok still gave us a good hit. Calado. That was out. He was under. But he's asking for a check. Yeah, we have a challenge from Cignal HD.
The challenge is lock touch.
Yung mga ganun, mahirap makita kung nag-iba yung trajectory ng bola kasi ang lakas ng palo. But you might have a better eye than I do. Did you see a change of trajectory?
It was hard to see kasi ang bilis din ng palo ni Mark Calado. Sometimes the blockers wouldn't feel the check
Yeah.
ball sa sobrang bilis. Or pag dumamplis lang talaga dun sa fingertips.
Yeah, Rex Ental did say that as well on air. Because of the adrenaline, minsan namamanhid kayo. Pero nakakatawa dahil si Rex din yung makikita mong ang sakit ng kamay niya kapag binablock niya si Brian Bagunas. He's very animated about it. Brian Bagunas is here, by the way, if you missed it. He started in this game. Block touch was there.
There was a no block touch. Officially, point will be awarded to the hard hitters.
9 serving 13 now. Can they keep it close? This is actually the second unit of Cignal HD. Quite similar to what we saw in their previous game. Calado, not much power. Alfaro sets up. Palisok, good return by Torres. Nice block. Heals Torres from left to right.
He's just reading the set plays of Maverick. He's not easily confused by the setting of the hard hitters.
And that's a testament to why middle blockers have the shortest lifespan in volleyball. They're the ones who jump the most. Rakaza, that was out.
Cordes will check in to replace Rakaza.
Cordes will also try to help out with their floor defense. It's 9, sorry, make that 15, serving 9. Alfred Valbuena. Short serve. There's a look by Cebrero. Back set, Palisok. He was under. And we have our second technical timeout. No challenge from Maverick. We'll take a short break.
Dalawa sila actually, si Mark Espejo pa rin and Brian Bagunas. Sila ang kumbaga nagbuhat ng men's volleyball sa Pilipinas. Siguro yung sipag nila sa ensayo kasi kumbaga dati malakas na talaga sila nung UAAP days nila. And si Brian Bagunas parang pangalawa lang siya ni Mark Espejo but nagpursige siya. Ngayon dalawa na sila nasa top. So yun talaga yung sipag nila sa ensayo and yung discipline.
There you have it. Kalaro ni Kim Ta ng kanyang idol na si Brian Bagunas for this game. And by the way, Sakitin couldn't score. The postseason of the association is here. Watch the 2024 NBA playoffs. It started April 20 on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, and Pilipinas Live. Hashtag everyone's game. Hashtag NBA on Cignal. That was Mark Calado attacking from the right. He's getting used to that angle as an opposite spiker. Valbuena sending it in. That's a misreceive. And practically an ace for Alfred Valbuena. Played it short. That's all he needed. He did break it down to me in the FEU versus NU game. Servers tend to play with it, malakas, and then short, and then may float to confuse the defenders.
There are always certain zones to target when you're on the service deck. Depende dun sa pattern ng opponent. Usually they would avoid the liberos, but sometimes when the liberos commit a shank pass, sa kanila dinadala.
Oh, mind games yun. That's a good attack from Maverick. Now we have Sekitin getting ready to serve. We're down by 8 in set 3. Ball up by Vince Lorenzo. Casanya, back throw for Alfred. Ball to the sky, a chase. Oh, Sabredo went crashing onto our A board. Good effort though.
That will be point number 6 for Alfred Valbuena. Also quality minutes from Alfred.
Point distribution. Bagunas and Calado lead the way with 10 respectively. Cosafat has 9. Alfred and Bugawan are tied for third with 6. But now Calado is the leading scorer with 11 after that point. Could this be like a resurrection game for Mark Calado in terms of being a top scorer? Well, it might be a stretch, but he'll gladly take this.
Hindi pwedeng magpapabound tayo sa ganyang score. Kasi hindi pa naman tapos eh. Ang nangyayari lang, parang sumusuko na tayo agad. Eh marami bang pwedeng mangyari, hindi pa naman tapos yung score. Ilaban nyo. Ha? Malayo pa yan, no? Kahit umangat yung score nyo, makakuha tayo ng momentum, pwedeng mabaliktad. Huwag nyo lang hintuan kasi hindi pa tapos, ha?
Never stop until you hear the final buzzer. That is a rule or a mindset across all sports. Iba-iba nga lang. Iba buzzer, iba whistle. Dito whistle, di ba? Sa volleyball, the final whistle by our first referee. 20-10. We have Gils Torres doing the honors. Ball up. Jerome Cortez blocked emphatically by Mark Calado.
He has surpassed the production of his teammates. He's now the leading scorer for the HD Spikers.
Calado coming into this matchup tallied 46. He's 25th in the league and 4th to Umandal, Bugawan, and Miguel. But he was only 1 point behind Wendell Miguel. So he's now number 3 in his team in this conference. There's a back set to Palisok. Ball up by Gils. Casanya had to chase. What a play to Roniel Rosales.
Also former PGJC Navy Sea Lion. Iba-iba na rin yung club teams na napuntahan ni Rosales, but now he's with the HD Spikers. Perfect fit.
Right. I'm sure Coach Sammy Akailar is sitting proud there by the signage of the Dallas Sports Arena. Double sub in Teodones, who was actually a target by the services of Cignal HD, checking in alongside Galgana. Cignal is 3 points away from a 3-set victory. It's been a while since they have experienced a game like this. Rakaza, nice approach, good timing by Cignal. Coverage present. Maverick, Rakaza again, that was in.
Rakaza never gave up on that play. He did get blocked the first time. When he saw a gap in between the blockers of Cignal, he took it and scored the 11 point of the hard hitters. Cignal, though, is just 3 points away from officially sweeping the preliminary round in our open conference.
But you did say it's back to 0 in the semis as Wendell Miguel got called for a violation. Did the ball hit the antenna? Yeah, that's what the first referee is trying to say. We have a challenge. Ooh, it's possible that the antenna was actually loose. Well, sa lakas ba naman ng mga palo ng players natin? Is that actually quite normal in men's volleyball?
Yeah, I mean, if you hit it dun sa tape ng net, there's really a big chance na gumalaw yung antenna.
So we're allowing our staff to fix it before we proceed. We're also waiting for the replay on this one. After this, just so everybody knows, we have Philippine Air Force taking on the VNS Nasty Griffins. And then in our last game, with semis implication, Savage will take on the Crisscross King Crunchers. Let's give some more time for our challenge system. Again, the semis will begin on Wednesday, and then it will proceed Friday next week and Sunday after that, finals na po tayo para sa ating Spikers Turf Open Conference, the first conference this year. Ayun. What do you think? Yes, there was an antenna touch. It was close, but yeah, that replay should convince everybody. It's fine for Coach Dex. His team is up by 10. He can relax. He's been busy in the past 2 weeks. 22-12. Ball up by Vince. Lorenzo. Casanya to the open. Pabawi kay Wendell.
Wendell Miguel hitting high and long, getting past the defense of the blockers and the libero of the hard hitters.
12 points for Mark Calado. He serves that ball inside. Ooh, a lefty tip. That's outside for Cabillan.
It's harder to control the tips using your offhand, but the timing wasn't that good for that quick attack. Now Cignal will get to match point.
12 match points for Buboy Calado and company. And it's going to be an ace to end it all. Mark Calado capping off his wonderful performance with that ace. And after 4 games, we're back to a 3-set victory for the Cignal HD Spikers.
Dominant win for Cignal HD. And they end this match strong with the service ace of Mark Calado.
All right. Redemption for Cignal after being challenged by VNS just last Wednesday. We'll be back to wrap this game up.
Volleyball fans, please stand by because we still have 2 games today here at the Inalis Sports Arena. Our next game is between Air Force going up against VNS Nesty. And for our 3rd game, our main game today, it's going to be Savage going up against Crisscross.
This is the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2024. I'm here with our player of the game from the Cignal HD Spikers, Mark Calado. Congrats on the win first off, Mark. Okay, simulan na natin doon sa last game performance natin. Hindi natuwa yung team, of course, the coaching staff. They knew that you guys could have done better at you guys delivered in this match. Anong pakiramdam?
Masaya kasi nakabawi ako sa game kahit paano. And thank you ako sa mga coaches na nagtitiwala sa akin para magkatiwalaan ako dyan sa loob ng court. And sabi nga ng coaches, kailangan naming galingan ngayon kontra Mavericks kasi para makakuha kami ng momentum sa pagdating ng semifinals.
Alright, na-mention mo yung playoffs, yung semifinals, and of course, maganda na yung performance nyo. Ano naman yung perspective nyo coming into the playoffs?
Hopefully, sana po mag-improve pa yung mga dapat namin improve like receive, mga depensa, palo and lahat-lahat. So sana mas magtuloy-tuloy pa kami semis hanggang makuha namin yung championship.
Alright, maraming salamat Mark. Baka may gusto ka batiin.
First of all, binabati ko po yung family ko sa Pangasinan, yung mama, papa ko, yung kapatid ko. Aray, yung girlfriend ko nanonood, yung family niya, yung mga family ng coaches ko at mga family ng mga teammates ko, and sa Cignal, sa buong sumusuporta ng Cignal. Ayan, thank you very much po.
Maraming salamat, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Mark Calado of the Cignal HD Spikers, our player of the game. Back to you, Migs and Neil.
Thank you, Baileys. There you have it. The patience has finally paid off for Mark Calado as a member of the Cignal HD Spikers. He actually caught up to Lloyd Josafat in terms of scoring in this game, so he did finish as a top scorer for the red shirts. What impressed you the most about his performance?
Mark Carlado came off the bench. All eyes were on Brian Bagunas and Lloyd Josafat early on in this match. But upon the entry of Mark Calado, he instantly took charge of the offense of the Cignal HD Spikers. He also was able to tally a few kill blocks and a few aces. So it was an overall performance for Mark Calado. Look at the statistics. This was the biggest block production for Cignal HD among the 3 sets that we played. For Mavericks, they weren't able to register a block and the service ace, but kahit papano nakadikit naman sila dun sa atake.
And Cignal did finish the game playing clean in terms of errors. Only had a few in set number 2 as compared to what happened in set number 1. They will proceed to the semifinals, and Maverick will take on RMS this coming Sunday. Up next, we have VNS Nasty taking on the Philippine Air Force Airmen in our second game of your Spikers Turf triple header inside the United Sports Arena. Thank you for joining us. For Brady Sakot and Neil Torres, my name is Migs Gomez. And again, we have 2 more games today, 2 more games this Sunday, and then semis next week beginning on Wednesday.